It was supposed to be just another day on set. Cameras were rolling, lights were perfectly set, and the crew was buzzing with excitement. But what unfolded that afternoon has now become one of the most talked about moments in the Korean entertainment industry, one that left Park Bo-gum visibly shaken and Kim Yoo Jung's fans deeply concerned. The scene they were filming wasn't particularly intense. Kim Yoo Jung had done much more physically demanding takes before. But as she finished a sequence, witnesses say her steps faltered. Her hand instinctively reached for the nearest support, but before anyone could react, she collapsed to the ground. At first, there was a split second of confusion. Was this part of the script? But that moment of uncertainty vanished when Park Bo-gum, who had been just a few feet away, dropped everything and ran to her side. Crew members say they had never seen Bo-gum like that before. His calm, composed image, something he's always been known for, was replaced by visible panic. He was kneeling beside her, calling her name, his voice trembling as he tried to get her to respond. His hands shook as he checked for signs of consciousness. Kim Yoo Jung, pale and motionless, didn't open her eyes right away. Park Bo-gum called for medical staff, his voice breaking, and when they arrived, he didn't step away. Instead, he stayed right next to her, clutching her hand as if letting go would mean losing her completely. The crew quickly halted filming. Medical professionals rushed in with equipment, checking her vitals. Some say Park Bo-gum's eyes glistened with tears, his jaw tight as if he was holding back an emotional outburst. And when they finally placed her on a stretcher, he insisted on following them, walking right beside her all the way to the ambulance. Fans didn't know about the incident until leaked behind-the-scenes clips started circulating online just hours later. The footage, though short, was enough to stir an emotional storm. In it, you can clearly see Park Bo-gum wiping his face as he steps into the ambulance. His head was slightly lowered, his expression unreadable, but his body language spoke volumes. Once they reached the hospital, Bo-gum reportedly refused to leave her side. He waited through every medical checkup, sitting quietly in the corner of the room, eyes fixed on her as she rested. When doctors confirmed that Yoo Jung had collapsed from exhaustion and dehydration, relief was evident on his face, but so was guilt. Industry insiders claim he kept saying the same thing to close friends who visited. "I should have noticed she was pushing herself too hard." That line alone has melted and broken the hearts of many fans. Because this isn't just a co-star speaking, it's someone who clearly cares beyond the scope of work. Over the past few months, Park Bo-gum and Kim Yoo Jung's growing closeness has been an unspoken topic among fans and the media. They've shared countless promotional activities, behind-the-scenes moments, and subtle interactions that seem to hint at a bond far deeper than professional courtesy. And this latest incident only added fuel to the speculation. As Yoo Jung recovered, Bo-gum reportedly made daily visits to the hospital. Staff members noticed he often arrived early in the morning before official visiting hours, carrying small things, sometimes fresh fruit, sometimes her favorite snacks, sometimes books she once mentioned liking. One nurse even shared, without giving away too many details, that he looks at her as if he's afraid she'll disappear if he blinks. When Yoo Jung finally regained enough strength to speak to her fans, she released a short message through her agency, assuring everyone she was okay and that she just needed rest. But interestingly, she also thanked a very special person who stayed by my side the entire time. She didn't name him, but fans didn't need to guess. Social media exploded. Clips of Bo-gum's emotional reaction were shared thousands of times. Hashtags linking their names trended for hours. Fans around the world expressed both concern for Yoo Jung's health and admiration for Bo-gum's unwavering support. Many pointed out that in an industry where public image is everything, Bo-gum didn't hesitate to show raw emotion in front of dozens of cameras and crew members. Some longtime followers of both stars say this isn't the first time Bo-gum has been openly protective of Yoo Jung. They recall interviews where he would subtly defend her when tough questions were asked, or moments on stage where he positioned himself to shield her from overly enthusiastic crowds. Still, the events of that day struck differently. This wasn't a rehearsed scene or a planned publicity moment. This was real, unfiltered, and deeply human. And in that rawness, people saw something rare in the world of celebrity: genuine care. For K-drama cycle viewers who followed our coverage of these two, you know this moment adds another powerful layer to their ongoing story. We've talked about their undeniable chemistry, their history of working together, and the subtle signs that keep fans guessing. But now, with this public display of emotion and loyalty, the conversation has shifted from "are they close" to "how deep does this bond really go?" Yoo Jung has since returned home to rest, and Bo-gum is back to his schedule. Yet, insiders say he continues to check in multiple times a day, sending messages to ensure she's eating and hydrating properly. Friends of Yoo Jung have hinted that his presence during her recovery made all the difference, lifting her spirits in ways medicine alone couldn't. Whether or not they choose to address the swirling rumors, one thing is certain: what happened that day has left an indelible mark not just on their relationship, but also on the hearts of their fans. Sometimes it takes an unexpected moment of crisis to reveal the depth of someone's feelings, and for Park Bo-gum, that moment has now been seen by the world. And as the cameras start rolling again for their next project, fans will be watching more closely than ever. Because after witnessing the tears, the worry, and the unshakable loyalty, many believe they've just seen the truest glimpse yet of the connection between Park Bo-gum and Kim Yoo Jung. And if this bond is as strong as it appears, then this might just be the start of an even more profound chapter in their story, one that K-drama cycle will be here to follow every step of the way. The day after Kim Yoo Jung was discharged from the hospital, Park Bo-gum's actions once again made headlines. Instead of letting her quietly recover, he took it upon himself to create a support system around her. Friends close to the pair revealed that he personally coordinated with Yoo Jung's management to ensure her schedule was cleared for at least 2 weeks. He even spoke directly with the drama's production team, insisting that her health take priority over filming deadlines. And here's where things became even more telling. Sources claim Bo-gum postponed 2 of his own commitments, something he rarely does, just so he could be nearby. When reporters asked his agency for a statement, they kept it short, saying only that Bo-gum values the well-being of his colleagues. But to those who have watched the way he looks at Yoo Jung, that explanation felt almost deliberately vague. Meanwhile, Yoo Jung's family also got a first-hand glimpse of his dedication. One insider described the moment Bo-gum visited her home for the first time after her release. He arrived without fanfare, wearing a simple cap and mask to avoid drawing attention. In his hands were not expensive gifts, but a basket filled with home-cooked meals he had personally prepared with the help of his mother. According to the source, Yoo Jung's mother was deeply moved. She later told a friend, "It's rare to see someone in this industry care so genuinely without expecting anything in return." And while she didn't directly address the rumors about the two being more than friends, she did say something that's now making waves among fans. "If my daughter had to collapse for me to see this kind of loyalty, then at least it showed us who truly cares for her." This sparked another round of online discussions. Fans began debating whether this was the mother's indirect blessing for the pair, while others cautioned against reading too much into her words. Still, the comment added an intriguing layer to the ongoing speculation. Back in Yoo Jung's recovery space, Bo-gum reportedly became a daily fixture. He didn't just drop by, he stayed. Sometimes for hours, sometimes until late at night, always making sure she was comfortable before leaving. Staff members from her agency noticed that even on days when Yoo Jung seemed tired and unresponsive, Bo-gum would quietly sit beside her, reading scripts aloud so she wouldn't fall behind in her lines. And then came the moment that fans are now calling the soft confession. While filming resumed in a limited capacity, Yoo Jung returned for a short indoor scene. Still visibly weaker than before, she moved carefully, with crew members watching her every step. Park Bo-gum was on set that day, not scheduled to film, but there to offer moral support, according to one staff member. During a break, Yoo Jung was seated in a quiet corner sipping tea. Bo-gum approached, crouched down so their eyes were level, and softly said, "Don't scare me like that again." The crew member who overheard it swore that Bo-gum's tone carried more weight than a casual remark. It was a plea, wrapped in affection and fear. That clip hasn't surfaced publicly, but multiple witnesses have confirmed the exchange. And while no one can say for sure if it was romantic, the sentiment behind it was undeniable. As days passed, Yoo Jung's strength began to return, but something had shifted between them. Their interactions, already warm, now carried a new intensity. Bo-gum's gaze lingered longer, Yoo Jung's smiles toward him seemed softer, and fans began dissecting every new photo and clip for clues. Industry insiders suggest that this incident might have accelerated their closeness. "Sometimes it takes a crisis to strip away all the polite distance," one source said. When you see someone at their most vulnerable and you stay, that changes things. But with this closeness came new challenges. The media, now picking up on the growing rumors, began pressing both stars for comments. Paparazzi photos of Bo-gum leaving Yoo Jung's home one evening only added to the frenzy. While their agencies have maintained silence, refusing to confirm or deny anything, the lack of denial has only fueled the public's curiosity. Fans are now split into two camps, those who want them to go public if they are indeed in a relationship, and those who believe keeping things private will protect what they have. Either way, the collapse incident has become a defining moment, not just for Yoo Jung's health, but for the trajectory of their relationship in the public eye. As for Bo-gum, those close to him say he's been quieter than usual, more introspective. Some believe the scare shook him deeply, making him realize just how much Yoo Jung means to him. And for Yoo Jung, her gratitude toward him is now woven into her recovery story, something she may one day speak about openly, but for now, chooses to keep close to her heart. One thing is certain, this was not just a temporary setback or a fleeting gesture of kindness. For both of them, this was a turning point. And as the months unfold, fans will be watching closely to see if this moment of crisis blossoms into a love story worthy of the dramas they've both starred in.